I'm recording here. Your system is wired to sense what other people miss. Your intuition works in the background, even when your mind is too busy. And your energy is constantly interacting with the world around you. These signs are not here to label you. They're here to help you understand how your energy actually works, so you can stop thinking something is wrong with you and start realizing something is finally waking up. So we move through each sign. I want you to listen with your whole body, not just your logical mind. If something is resonating, if something feels familiar, that's your spirit saying, pay attention. Okay? So we're going to go through these because I don't know what time zone you guys are, but I don't want to keep you guys too long either. So we're going to go through the class. We're going to use the workbook. So make sure that you guys have it, or you can have a piece of paper or whatever. You're going to be understanding your sensitivity. You're going to learn what's you versus what's not you. Identifying your biggest energy leaks, which is a huge thing. And you're going to start to get a handle on your intuitive wiring. So let's get into the signs. We're going to start with the very first sign, which is, let's start with the sign that's almost every empath recognizes instantly. You feel people long before they even speak. You walk into the room and you instantly sense who's upset, who's pretending they're fine, who's holding something back, who's stressed, tensed, or overwhelmed, who's safe, grounded, or comforting. You can feel the emotional temperature of the room before you even sit down. Empaths often learn this early in life. It's not a choice, but it's as survival. You had to read the room. You had to pay attention to the undercurrent. You had to become aware of other people's emotions so you could stay connected or prepared or stay safe. Does this sound familiar for you guys? Okay. Empaths often learn this early. Oh, I would just put that. And now, as an adult, your nervous system still does this automatically. It picks up micro expressions, energy shifts, tension in someone's voice or emotional waves. They're not even admitting it to themselves, but you know that this is what they're feeling. Here's the tricky part. Empaths often blend other people's emotions with their own. I'm going to repeat this. Empaths will blend other people's emotions with their own. I don't know how many times I've walked away from a room thinking that I'm feeling like crap, but it's not, because I walked in fine. I picked it up from someone else in that room. You might ask yourself, why do I suddenly feel anxious? Why am I drained for no reason? And why do I feel heavy after talking to that one person? Most of the time, it's because your body is a receiver. You're not just noticing emotions, you're feeling them. It isn't a weakness, it's intuition. This is sensitivity that has been misinterpreted your whole life. And the moment you understand that your feeling is not always yours, you take back your power. So in your workbook, I want you to check out the very first sign. So the very first page or whatever it is where it says quick checklist. So you feel people before they speak. If this applies to you, I want you to check yes. Now on the next page afterwards, there's journal prompts. And it says, whose emotions do I tend to absorb the most? So I want you to write in this is where you need to tune in. So some of the examples are, do you absorb family members? Do you absorb your partners? No, partners, if you have more than one, but partner, your clients, strangers, coworkers, anyone with big emotional energy. So think back when you feel the most strained, and I want you to write that down. And just reflect, like, when was the one time when you had a situation when you realized later on that emotion wasn't actually yours? So just be really quick. And usually the very first answer you get is the most accurate, because I don't want you to think with your logical mind. I want you to think with your intuitive mind. And I want you to be in like your whole body. This is what I want. This is part of being the psychic thing. It's getting rid of the logic and going into the intuition. So sign number 2, crowds. Oh, my favorite. Crowds, noise, or technology drain you. So let's talk about overwhelmed, because for empaths, it doesn't take much. You walk into a busy grocery store, a mall, a loud restaurant, or even a family gathering, and you within minutes, you feel your energy dropping. It's like a big heavy load just went on your shoulders. And that's not you being sensitive. That's your nervous system doing exactly what it's designed to do. It absorbs, it senses, it decodes everything happening around you. Here's the problem. In a crowd or noisy spaces, there's too much information coming at you at once. So a lot of times you think, "Oh my God, I'm feeling everything." It's because it's literally like boom, all of it happening at the same time. And you go into almost like a radio thing where everything becomes static. Like it's just that static shh that you're hearing because you are so open. So in the crowd or noisy spaces, there's too much information coming at once, which is energy, emotions, micro signals, body language, people's stress, their frustration, their excitement, their anxiety. You're feeling it all and you're picking it all because you're an antenna for that. Your system starts scanning and interpreting all of it, even when you're not consciously paying attention. It's like having 40 tabs open in your brain at the same time. Now, add technology on top of that. You're getting notifications on your phone, you're getting messages, social media feeds, the constant expectation to respond, the emotional charge behind what you're reading. I don't know about you, but I can't, if someone messages me and I look down, I have a hard time with that little red button saying that there's a message. Like I have to go look at it right now. And a lot of that's like because of that has to do with your empathy. That's part of your psychic empathy. So it's like that's you can't function. You can't leave tabs open. You have to make sure you close them out. That all has to do with that. So that being said, technology drains empaths, not because it's bad, but because every notification is an energetic ask. Even a ping from someone you love still requires a tiny shift in your awareness. And enough of those tiny shifts drains your battery faster than you think. Many empaths don't realize this because they're used to being overstimulated, that it feels normal until they hit a wall. And it happens. So if you find yourself avoiding crowds, muting your phone, needing quiet after a busy day, or pulling back from overly chaotic spaces, this is not a flaw. This is your intuition protecting your nervous system. It's okay to take a nap. You need it. Now in your book, if technology or crowds drain you, respond yes or no. Because sometimes it happens with certain empaths and sometimes it doesn't. There's many different types of empaths. And in the journal prompt, I want you to, it's which specific environment drains me the quickest, and what do they have all in common? So is it grocery stores? working meetings, large family events, shopping malls, busy restaurants, group chats, social media scrolling, online drama. Oh, everybody loves online drama. Even certain people's homes. There's certain times where you avoid going to certain people's homes because it's a bit chaotic. This creates awareness around their energetic. This will create an awareness around your energetic pattern, which is the first step to strengthening your boundaries. That's a huge thing. So, sign number 3, your mood changes suddenly and you don't know why. One of the biggest indicators of empathic ability is when your emotions shift out of nowhere. You walk up feeling fine, but after talking to someone or visiting a place or even scrolling your phone, your mood suddenly drops, spikes, or shifts. And you're left wondering, why do I feel like this? Because nothing happened. I was fine. Here's the truth. Most empaths were never taught your mood isn't always yours. Empaths are emotional barometers. You feel other people's internal weather long before they show it externally. So if someone is upset and they're trying to put a face on it, they put a smile on and saying everything's okay. But because you're empathic and you're psychic, you're all emotional. So you're going to tap into, move past that smile, and it's going to affect you because you're walking into that energy field that that person's putting out. And it's tough on you. So when your mood changes for no reasons, it usually because you walked into someone else's anxiety, you picked up someone's frustration, you absorbed someone's sadness, you felt disappointed someone else wasn't expressing, you sensed emotional tension in the room, and you read someone's unspoken stress or overwhelmed. Empaths don't just understand emotions, they merge with them. That's part of the problem. Your energy blends so fast and so subtle that you don't even realize the emotion wasn't yours to begin with. This used to serve you, especially in childhood. It kept you aware, it kept you connected, it kept you safe. But now it's confusing and draining. And unless you learn how to separate what you feel from what you pick up, and you have to you have to separate what you feel and what you pick up. Here's what you need to remember. A sudden mood shift is almost always your intuition alerting you to an energy shift. It's not random, it's not dramatic, it's not overreacting, it's information. So if you walk up to someone and all of a sudden you start to feel angry, that's information. Your body, your intuition is giving you information. And instead of leaning into it, you step back and you're like, okay, I wasn't angry for a minute. So this person must be angry. So what is going on with them? That's when you're going to be using your intuition. So, and when you stop judging these shifts and start listening to them, your sensitivity becomes your superpower. So in their workbook, I want you to check whether you absorb emotions that aren't yours. And in the journal, I want you to, when was the last time your mood changed suddenly? Think back. What happened right before and then right after, right before that shift? I want you to write it down. And one of the other things is I want you this is like a bonus awareness too. It's not really in your book, but you guys can like take as many as these are as you want, because it's almost like these are going to be prompts for you. Because really, the more you realize that this is what's happening, it's easier for you to control your gift, your intuition, and not letting it control you. So you can write down as many as you want of these. My mood drops around certain people. My mood elevates around certain people. My mood changes in certain places. My mood changes after scrolling social media. My mood changes after texting certain people. So if this emotion wasn't, so one of the questions you can ask yourself is, if this emotion wasn't mine, whose was it? Sign number 4. Let me know if I'm going too fast for you guys. Is this, you guys are okay with keeping up with this so far? Just nod your heads. Okay, that's great. So this is probably one of the most important things, number 4. And this is probably the one that I had the hardest time with. And to be honest, most of the people that I meet that are empathic all have this issue. It's you need more rest than most people. And that being said, that is the hardest thing for us to do because we can't shut our minds off. So let's be honest, empaths don't get tired the same way everyone else does. Most people get physically tired, empaths get energetically tired. There is a difference, and it hits differently. You're not just tired because you did too much. You're tired because your nervous system has been working nonstop all day. You're reading the room, you're sensing the emotions, you're checking the energy, you're holding everyone together, often without you even realizing it. Here's the kind of tiredness empaths experience: emotionally tired from feeling too much, mentally tired from overthinking or over analyzing subtle cues, energetic tired from absorbing others' emotions, soul level tired from carrying more than your share. And here's the part that confuses most empaths: is even when your body is tired, your mind does not shut down. Isn't that funny? Not really. But you lay down to rest, but your system is still, no, you're replaying the conversations. You're worrying about someone else you care about. You're processing emotional residue. You're thinking about who you need to help. You're trying to make sense of everyone else's energy. You're feeling the weight of something you picked up that day, or you're replaying that argument in your head where you finally got to tell them exactly what you feel. All of that. Your mind, you can't shut it down enough to get some rest. So it's not really insomnia, it's overloaded intuition. Empaths spend so much time in intuitive listening mode that it becomes their default setting, even when they're supposed to be resting. If you've ever said, I'm exhausted but wired, I feel tired in my bones, why do I need more downtime than anyone else? Rest doesn't feel like it's actually helps. I've heard that a lot. These ones I've all heard. That's why I included them. That's not laziness or burnout. It's an empath's nervous system asking for grounding, not just sleep. Your body rests physically, but your energy needs a different kind of rest. Quiet space, stillness, and the ability to not feel responsible for anyone else's BS. When you finally understand this, everything changes, because now, instead of focusing yourself to push through, you start supporting your sensitivity instead of fighting it. So in your workbook, which is number 4, what kind of I want you to If you get the number 4 is spirit connects through body sensations. So if this applies to you, put a yes or a no. And in the work in your journal prompt, I want your prompt is going to be, what kind of tired do I experience the most? Physical, emotional, mental, or energetic? And if any of these apply, I wake up tired even after sleeping. My mind stays active when I rest. I need more downtime than others. I feel tired after being around certain people. I feel tired after being on the phone. I feel tired for no reason. So if any of these apply, you can put that in there. Now, I want you to add in as well, what kind of rest actually helps you feel better, if you even know. Like, does just being in a quiet space help you? Does being alone, being out in nature, music, grounding? Some people use grounding sheets, which I did. I need to buy new ones, but grounding sheets, bed sheets really work. Unplugging, journaling, meditation. I've tried every one of these. The ones that work for me is the grounding sheet for sure. Being out in nature is probably the best one ever because I'm able to disconnect, and being in nature and going for a walk, I'm able to work through all of that stuff. And then I'm able to go home and rest. It's almost like I'm letting it go when I'm walking. I don't do well with quiet time because for me, quiet time doesn't work. Quiet time, my brain just makes sure that I have, oh, I got this. It's like a squirrel in traffic. It's like, oh, wait, I got this, I got that. So that doesn't work for me, but certain people will. So I'm just giving you examples of what works for me. So the two major ones are nature and music. And then I bought the grounding sheet to help me so that I'm able to ground before I go to bed. So if anybody's looking at something like that, that's a great investment. Number 5 is you attract emotionally heavy people. Oh my God. So it's like this list is bringing back bad memories. But we all do. It's just part of us being psychic empaths. If you've ever wondered why strangers tell you their whole life story in the grocery store line, or why friends come to you when they're falling apart, or why people say, I don't know why I'm telling you all this. This is not random. This is empath energy. Empaths naturally project. You will naturally project to other people, your energy does, safety, warmth, acceptance, non judgmental, emotional presence. People feel that consciously or unconsciously, and they trust you instantly. But here's where it drains you. Most people don't realize they're handing you their emotional weight. They're not trying to overwhelm you. It just feels so natural for them to share with you that they forgot you're a whole person too. Empaths also attract people who are overwhelmed, ungrounded, chaotic, grieving, anxious, emotionally stuck. So does this describe any of your friends? Because your energy feels like relief to them. You become the safe place, the person who understands, listens, feels, absorbs, and supports. But there's a deeper layer. Your energy just doesn't listen, it mirrors, it matches, it holds space, it comforts, it stabilizes. This is beautiful, but without boundaries, it becomes draining. You may notice you feel heavy after helping someone. You replay their story in your mind. You take on their emotional residue. You start worrying about them. You feel responsible for their healing. You forget to check on yourself afterwards. Empaths are conditioned to be strong one, the listener, the emotional anchor, but strong doesn't mean bottomless. The truth is, empaths attract heavy hearts because they know how to hold them, but that doesn't mean you're supposed to carry them. Learning to support without absorbing is one of the biggest shifts an empath will ever make. This by far is probably my number. What number is this one? Number 5. Number 5 is probably the hardest one that I've had to really learn to let go, especially as a psychic medium doing readings, because people come to me with some heavy stuff on their hearts. And as I'm doing the reading, because I'm connected and I'm channeling, I'm different. The empath in me is not as high. It's muted down because I'm letting in spirit take over. My intuition's really taking over. But the moment that I disconnect, I replay that whole thing in my head and I go into panic mode thinking, oh my God, I hope I gave this person the correct information. Oh my God, I should call them. I should, and it will overload my system. This is one of the things that I've had to learn to really let go, because, and I preach it to people that are in my readings a lot of times, but it's also one of the most difficult ones because we want to help people. This is part of being an empath. It's also, it's our gift, but it's also hinders us because we want to do everything. So this may be one of the harder ones for you. I'm not gonna, this is based on what I'm doing. So in your book, number 5, your body mirrors others' pains. So yes or no. And the journal prompt for you is, who comes to me when they're struggling? And how does their energy stay with me afterwards? So just think really quickly. We always have one or two that are like, that just hang and they're constantly giving us, and sometimes it's the same thing over and over again. So this is just, if you know, there's people that overshare with, so if this one of them is like, people overshare with me, I attract people in crisis, strangers confide in me, friends come to meet me first, I feel pressure to help, I feel drained after supporting someone. And then one of the questions that I want to also for you to answer real quick is, what emotional weight am I carrying that isn't mine? So right now, tune in and think about it. What are you carrying right now that's not yours? That someone else has come in and literally throw it up on you, and now you're carrying it as well. So write it down. So number 6 is, you can sense when something is off, even when everyone else misses it. This is really your intuition really kicking in. This one is the clearest sign of empathic and intuitive ability. You notice the shift before anyone else does. Something in someone's voice, a look in their eyes, the way their energy suddenly tightens, a subtle pause in a conversation, a change in the atmosphere of the room. You sense it instantly. And often you can explain how you know, you just know. This is not you guessing. This is not you being paranoid. This is not being too sensitive. This is your intuitive wiring picking up micro signs faster than your mind can process. That's something you have to understand. Your body will pick it up before your mind can process. Your mind is probably the last thing, but you're going to feel it. It's very emotional. So empaths feel emotional shifts, energetic changes, unspoken tension, suppressed feelings, hidden motives. That's a big one. Relational imbalances and intuitive warnings. And your body reacts before your brain does. You might feel pressure in your chest, butterflies, heaviness, Sudden anxiety that just comes out of nowhere, sudden alertness, like something either standing behind you or something before you, just know you're on alert. A drop in your stomach. I've had people where they're just like, oh my God, I feel like I want to throw up. A sense of tightening or pulling. So these are all things that you will get in your body that's going to give you that signal. These sensations are your spirit saying, pay attention, something is here. The challenge is that empaths are taught to ignore this. Growing up, you were probably told you're overreacting, you're imagining things, you're too emotional, you're reading too much into it. But deep down, you knew you weren't wrong. Empaths often sense truths long before they become visible. You notice what others overlook, you feel what others hide, you can see what others hide, you see the shift before the shift becomes obvious. This gift becomes powerful when you learn to trust it instead of dismissing it. Because the more you trust your intuitive sensations, the clearer and more accurate they become. This is probably one of the ones I used to call. I didn't put that in there, but I used to call this my BS, my bullshit meter. Because if I was talking to somebody and they started lying to me, I immediately tuned them out. We could be in the group and somebody would thought this person was the most amazing person that they thought, and I would be completely disgusted with them. I had no basis for it because I didn't really know them and they seemed like a lovely person, but my body knew it, and I would get a gut reaction to the point where it would make me sick. Now, because I didn't know what this was, I actually would get physically sick. I would excuse myself and I would go to the bathroom and I would, think I was going to throw up, because that's how strong it was. And then once I was away from the situation, I would come back normal because now I'm in my own energy and I've kind of like shook it off. And then the moment I would walk back into that room, I would feel that again, especially if that person came back into my circle that I was there. It took me a very long time to realize this what it was. And people would say, "Oh my God, this person's a wonderful person." I'm like, I don't like them. I don't like them. And they were like, "Well, what's your problem?" This is the thing. They were like, and I'm like, I don't know what my problem is, but I don't like them. So if you get this feeling about someone and you don't have to explain it, that is your intuition kicking in, because that person may be wonderful to your face right now, but there's something about them that is not right. So listen to it. So in the book, in your workbook, number 6, you attract emotional talkers and energy seekers. Yes or no? And your journal prompt for this is, when was the last time I sensed something was off before I had proof? I just told you mine. So I want you to write down yours. If you haven't yet, that's great. Just wait. And and I want you to write down whether you thought you had some tightness in your chest, your stomach drop, you got tingling, you got pressure in your head, or you got pressure in your shoulders. Figure out what it was in your body. You could have had heaviness in your chest. You just felt restless, like you needed to leave the room, or all of a sudden you just got a sudden mood shift, like you're like, oh my God, I feel sad, I feel mad, or whatever it was. Or you started to hear a voice in your head said, something's not right here. So the one thing that I want you to use for reflection, and you can do this later, but you can write this down, is, have I learned to trust those moments or talk myself out of them? So be honest. So when you get that feeling that something's not right here, do you trust it, or do you actually talk yourself out of it and say, oh, no, no, it's fine, it's going to be okay, it's going to be okay? Or do you let someone else talk you out of it? Because that happens too. And number 7, I'm just going to let you guys for a few minutes, not a few minutes, a couple seconds. So the last one is going to be you need time alone to feel like yourself again. So let's talk about one of the most misunderstood empathic traits. You need you need for your need for alone time isn't a preference, it's a requirement. This isn't about you being antisocial. This isn't about you being too sensitive. This isn't about you withdrawing or being dramatic. This is your nervous system saying, I need space to come back to myself. I need to know what my own body energy is. As an empath, your energy field is constantly interacting with the world around you. You pick up layers of emotion, tension, unspoken feelings, and environmental energy. And it sticks to you more than it sticks to other people. Alone time is where that energy finally releases it. It's where your thoughts start blending with other people's, your emotions recalibrate, your intuition becomes clear, your body relaxes, your spirit resets, your energy finally becomes yours again. When you don't get this time, you feel foggy, irritable, drained, overstimulated, or disconnected from yourself. And here's the part empaths rarely admit: you can love your people, your family, your friends deeply and still need space from them. That's okay. Not because of them. It's almost like it's not you, it's me kind of thing. That's exactly what it is. So it's not because of them, it's because your system does what your system does to them, does for you. So empaths regulate the room. You as an empath, your energy will regulate a room. It softens the edges. It absorbs the tension. It stabilizes the energy. They listen deeply. They feel deeply. So it's beautiful, but it's not sustainable without time alone to decompress. Your alone time is not a luxury. It's your recharging station, your grounding point, your spiritual detox, your nervous system reset. At the moment, you stop apologizing for it and start protecting it. Your intuition strengthens, your energy becomes clear, and you stop losing yourself in other people. So this is probably one of the ones, because I would have people that actually said, for some reason, you feel safe to me. And I would be taking that on. I would be absorbing that energy without even knowing it. So they felt great, but I would go home feeling like crap. And and if you do this so much, it actually can make you physically sick. A lot of One of the things that I didn't include in here, but one of the things that you will notice that, and I don't know if this is right, if you have this, but a lot of empaths will have issues with their digestive system because sometimes you become so full of someone else's negative energy or even good energy, like it's too much for you. It's almost like inside of you that you feel full, and if you try to eat, you just can't digest your food. It doesn't sit well. You get digestive issues, so you're just like, you know what, I don't even want anything, I just want to go to bed. So many will have digestive issues. I had digestive issues. So a lot of times you turn to coffee and all this other stuff just to try to get some energy going because you need to still have something in your stomach. But it's not unheard of for empaths to have issues with their stomach. It's just part of the game. So now we're going to work through this. So it's stepping away. Now, one of the things, I didn't put this in your workbooks, but you guys can add it in, is this is one of the things that I use to release all of that energy, especially because of what I do. Now, you might think, being an empath, I'm crazy to go into these different crowds, but I've learned to handle it. I've learned to handle all 7 of these, and that's why I'm able to do that. But there is a lot of aftercare that I use for myself. So if I've gone into the grocery store, a simple thing with grocery store, and somebody recognizes me there, they're going to come up, they're going to want to, regardless of whether they know me as a psychic medium or if they know me in my personal life, they're going to want to conversate. And sometimes they're just telling me everything. And I'm sitting there and now I'm surrounded by this other crowd. So a lot of times as soon as I get home from a grocery thing, I will do something to ground myself. So I'll either take out the vacuum and I'll vacuum my house. You think my house would be super clean, but not really. But uh my animals, I do have two cats, which I don't know if you probably, she's over there sleeping. She can care less right now. But I have cats. So a lot of times I will sit with my cats. They help ground me as well. Pets are the number one things, and they will know when you're not feeling well because they will come and support you. But most importantly, after, especially if you're going to be doing this type of work, working with any type of energy, anything, every time I finish doing energy, I will actually have a salt bath. Salt and water is very cleansing, and I will soak in salt bath. If you want to, you can add in some binary beats music at a grounding frequency, and you can sit in that for a bit because that will actually help regulate you again and get rid of everything else. Because let's face it, there are times that I'm going to teach you about your boundaries and everything else, and you can do everything you possibly can to set those boundaries. But there is, sometimes it's hard, especially if you're tired. That will come down. So these are just the aftercare is a huge thing so that you're able to then go to sleep and to sleep. Because if you want to do this type of thing, you rest, and resting your mind is imperative. If you do not, you cannot, it's going to be very hard for you to be able to connect when you want to. So, because right now it's just like you're just shooing off, like firing. Your system's all on go. So once you get this connected, all 70 steps, and they all fall into space. Sometimes every so often you'll get one that's knocked in, but you'll recognize it. That's the most important thing, is you will recognize it and you'll get yourself back on track. So in your workbooks, you can write out if number 7, if you crave solitude for fear of disconnection, but fear disconnection, or yes or no. Your journal prompt for this is, what does my energy feel like when I've been around people too long? For me, and I can only talk about myself, if I've been around too many people, and it all depends on the situation. So if I've been around a family gathering, my energy, I feel a little drained, but they're my family, so they kind of like, it's a little different. But if I'm in a group reading, when I'm doing a reading, when I step away because I've been connected, I get a high. I'm like a high for probably a good half an hour. Like I'm like, oh my God, I can exercise, I can do this, I can blah, blah, I can probably walk 3, 5 miles, whatever. And then I crash because it's almost like finally that energy that I had of like those 30 or 40 people that are in that room kind of just like finally I let it go, or I take it off like a shirt, and then I just crash. And the drop in energy is like, it's like you took a sleeping pill and you just want to go to sleep. Like you start to go into sleep. That's how it is for me. And that's with me controlling it. But then I'm also doing this. So it's a little different. So this is, so your awareness exercises, do you need quiet after social events? Do you feel drained after being around certain people? You can decompress. I decompress in the car before going inside. So if you do that before you go inside to your own home, you need breaks during gatherings. There's been a lot of times when if it's a little too emotional, I will get up and go to the bathroom because I need a break away from that energy. You get overwhelmed by too much talking. So especially if there's too many people talking around you, you'll get that. You crave silence. You feel more like yourself after an alone time. That some of these cross over into you. Some people may think that you're being diagnosed as ADD because a lot of people that are ADD will get mixed diagnosed because they're in psychic empath and they're getting this and they're overstimulated. So they think that it's ADD, and it's very similar. So your reflection question that I want you to answer is, what kind of alone time actually restores me? And how can I give myself more of it without guilt? So is it being by yourself? Is it going into nature? Is it music? What is it that gives you that? And how can you give yourself more of that without guilt? Because guilt is a big thing. Okay, so I want you now, I'm going to let you guys finish up that. All right, so I want you to go to your energy leak page. I don't know what, I think it's page 3 on that. So I want you guys to pause a moment and let's check in. I don't want you to check in with yourself, not with your mind, but with your energy. So this part is very important because this is where it's going to tell you the truth. Your energy leaks show how exactly where your power is being drained and where your healing needs to start first. Most people try to guess where their energy is going, but empaths don't need to guess. Your body already knows. It's been telling you. You've been just too busy managing everything else to hear it. So let's slow down for a minute and look at it clearly. So I want you to ask yourself, which situation has been draining me the most lately? I don't want you to overthink it. It's usually the first thought that pops into your mind. It might be a relationship, a family dynamic, a work situation, a person who's constantly needing something. So whatever pops into your mind, write it down. Now I want you to put a number to it. Number 1 is mild drain. And number 3 is a noticeable, consistent drain. And number 5 is this is wiping me out and I feel it every day. And you can write as many as you want in that. So don't judge the number. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just about being honest with yourself, so that you can really figure out where your energy is going and what you need to do. Your next question is, what could help balance this drain even slightly? This is not asking for perfection. It's asking for shifting. So I want you to ask yourself this question, and whatever pops in your mind, write it down. It could be about taking space, setting boundaries, limiting time around certain people, um, turning off your phone at night, saying no to something you keep saying yes to, scheduling rest time, asking for help, grounding before certain environments, or simply becoming aware of the drain so your system stops absorbing it automatically. And just a FYI, this list here is my list. So I'm telling you guys everything because this is all I've been through. So there's no wrong answer here, and you can write them all. You can write down the first 2 or 3 that comes to you that you feel it's true. So what you just wrote down is your roadmap. Your healing doesn't start with you doing more. It starts with seeing the truth of where your energy is going. So you just wrote down exactly what's going on in your body. So we're going to do a little energy reset for you guys, because I'm not going to let you guys go without resetting your energy, because I actually can feel all of your energy and I'm probably going to need a salt bath after this. To be honest. So I just want you, and actually you on page 4, it has it. You can do it yourself as well, but I'm going to do it for you. I just want you guys to close your eyes. So just give me a moment here. I'm going to see if I can. All right. I just want you guys to take one slow breath in. And as you exhale, imagine your body letting go of anything you've absorbed today, not forcing it out, just releasing what was never meant to stay. I want you to say quietly to yourself, this is not mine. Listen to your system, hear those words. Now imagine your energy, the real you, coming back into your body, not in pieces of other people, not their emotions, not their expectations, just you. You don't need to visualize anything complicated. Just feel that gentle pull inwards, like all the scattered parts finally returning home. I want you to say, come back to me. Now place one hand on your chest or stomach, wherever your body feels the invitation. I want you to notice the weight of your hand, the warmth, the pressure, the stillness underneath. Let your body know you're here. Let your energy settle. Now imagine the soft, warm weight at the base of your spine. You're not rooting into the earth unless that resonates. You're simply allowing your energy to land. Feel the difference between up in your head versus being fully in your body. I want you to quietly say, I am here. I am grounded. I am me. On your next breath, imagine a soft glow around your body. Not a wall, not armor, just a gentle boundary that says, what's mine stays with me. What isn't mine passes through me. I want you to repeat that. What's mine stays with me. What isn't mine passes through me. This is your reset. This is your truth. This is your energy. And it's safe to come home to. Take one more breath in. And when you're ready, open your eyes. So how did that feel? Better? Do you guys feel a little rested now? Like, this is how you're supposed to feel. This is your energy. You don't have anything else. And you guys can do that whenever you want. You can say it whatever you want. So, and it's great to have it come back again because it's almost like a refresh. So, during your meditations, did you guys get any messages or anything? You guys were just like, I'm getting rid of this crap. That's great. Um, so everything that you felt tonight, that's real. Your sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's your frequency. You are wired to translate energy, not drown in it. But you don't have to figure this out alone. I want to thank you very much for being here tonight, truly. Um, oh, someone. You did. That's amazing. Um, Nayon, if you feeling dizzy, that's completely, if you guys want to put it in the chat, I'll address it as well if you guys felt anything. But feeling dizzy, that's completely normal because you're letting that go. You're letting go of something that's not yours and you're coming back to your own natural state of being. So that's amazing. That's great that happened for you and you can continue doing it whenever you feel that need to do it. So, um, is there anybody else that wants to share anything or write it in the chat? You felt bright, Haley, you felt bright, light orb settle at the base of your spine. That's great. That's your guides there helping you ground. So imagining roots, one of the easiest and quickest thing, if I'm somewhere and I can't get out and to do a quick meditation, I will go somewhere like the bathroom and I will imagine roots coming from my feet or the back of my spine, going into the ground and anchoring myself. That is a quick way of that I use to ground myself. And I sit there until I finally feel like, because once you recognize your own energy, it makes a huge difference. And you don't want anyone else's energy around you. So you want to kind of like get it off. So I'll do that a lot because it's like a lot of times what it feels like is you feel heavy, you'll feel dizziness, you feel like you're faint a little bit if it's a little too much, good and bad. Like it's not, a lot of people think it's bad energy, but there's sometimes where if you're at a party and everybody's like drinking and having a good time, that could be overloading as well. So it's energy is energy. There's no good or bad of it. It's what you feel. So does anyone else have anything that they want to share as well? So that's great, you guys. That's great. Um, that you felt that. I'm happy that you guys got that. So now if today opens something in you and you finally understand your energy is a way you never have, in a way that you never have before, then you don't need to stop here. This is just the beginning. I know I've been talking about it, but I finally got together and I did the spirit expansion pathway, where we'll be taking everything you learned today and going deeper into grounding, intuition activation, energy boundaries, and the real practices that help you feel clear, steady, and connected to every single day. So if you're feeling the pull, like you did today, to trust that your spirit knows when it's time to grow, and you can join the pathway today. It's opened already. Our first class begins in January the 15th. It's going to be a circle and it's going to run for 5 weeks. Everything's going to be completely done online, so you can join from anywhere. And right now there is an introductory offer of 147 for 5 weeks, and you can use the code CIRCLE to get the discount. The discount expires, the coupon code expires January 2nd. All of the details are in my website. Now, also because you guys are subscribers, I just put something together where there's going to be a page just dedicated to the subscribers. So if you want to rewatch this again, you'll actually be able to rewatch it because I'm going to be loading it up. So